Good morning. We hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to the second in a series of educational webinars focused on solutions for the power industry. My name is Kevin Johnson, and I'll be your host for today's webinar. If you had the opportunity to attend our previous PowerView webinar on workforce collaboration and data fusion, you might recall that we focused on PowerView's four main applications and how they facilitate more efficient construction, asset, and overall document management while facilitating more effective workforce collaboration. In today's webinar, Role-Based Viewing and Document Sharing During Construction and System Restoration Events, we will demonstrate how individuals with different roles in physical locations can contribute to a project, share and update documentation, create or update schedules and project status, perform physical inspection, respond to a system event, and use PowerView data to request material, generate work orders, and reduce response time. Once again, I'll be joined by Kurt Traub, Vice President of Transmission and Distribution Line Engineering for Empirical, and a few of his team members. As before, we have solicited advanced questions from the registrants and will do our best to answer these throughout the webinar. However, we also encourage you to reach out to Kurt or me at the conclusion of today's webinar. We also want to remind folks that there is still time to take advantage of our special offer related to a no-cost instance of PowerView. So without further delay, I'd like to reintroduce Kurt and turn the presentation over to him and his team.
Thank you, Kevin. Before we begin diving into today's topics, I just want to take a few minutes to open PowerView and show a few setup features. This will help lay the foundation for our audience when we begin to navigate through the geospatial content and various roles within PowerView. PowerView was initially developed to support engineers, clients, and field personnel with construction and management of transmission and distribution line projects. PowerView directly imports design models from PLS-CAD and has the ability to import data from other database sources in CSV formats. This results in an intelligent geospatial and visual representation of the project, complete with pertinent project documentation, including framing drawings, plan and profile drawings, seg, tension, and string charts, project-specific construction standards, inspection reports, permits and approvals, photos, and much more. Additionally, PowerView provides construction and project status updates in real time across the organization. Field personnel has the ability to upload documents, make field notations, and add photos to augment the data. Within PowerView, there are three basic license types. There are the creator, the contributor, and the viewer. Each user type has certain privileges as defined by their user type or role, as we will discuss. A creator is the top-level user and super administrator. They can create, edit, and archive projects and can update statuses and upload files. They can also administer and assign other user licenses and permissions. A contributor is a mid-level user. A contributor has the ability to perform all PowerView tasks with the exception of user or license assignment or creation of a new or custom project. A contributor can update project status, upload files, pictures, and other documentation, and can make project notations, but cannot create or edit projects. The final license is a viewer. It can be thought of as a read-only user. They can view project status, notes, and documentation, but they cannot edit or upload anything. It is important to note that each user has the ability to view and retrieve all the data associated with an asset created in PowerView. These include such items as framing drawings, plan and profile drawings, sag tension charts, construction standards, inspection reports, permits and approvals, photos, detailed drawings, historical work orders. Anything that you can upload can be attached into PowerView and be able to be viewed by everyone associated with the project. So with that, we're going to go into a live demo inside PowerView. So we have a project here that's strictly just a demonstration project that we created for these demonstration purposes. And I'm going to go over a few things that we went over in our first webinar, which was talking about data fusion and how exactly PowerView is being used. So at first, you see just a general overview of this project, and we see different icons here. Right now, these icons are determined by the framing of the structure. So you see we have some double circuit tangents, some single circuit tangents, some delta configuration, some dead ends, some towers, and so forth. But we can also change those icons to show whatever we want. Maybe we want to see structure material, where we have concrete poles versus weathering steel poles. And we can pull up the icon legend here so we can see all that. The wood poles, steel poles, and so forth. Or maybe we want to see it by foundation type. We can see exactly where we have our direct embeds, where our drill piers are, maybe some spread footers, some helical piles, and so forth. As you can see, there's multiple ways we can show different icons if you want to show splice boxes, but it's just one use of PowerView. Now, as we zoom in, we see what we have been accustomed to seeing in transmission design. It's just a KMZ file. But each one of these icons now, we can click on it and get information. This information is being exported straight from PLS CAD or a CSV file. And we're getting all the information about the structure. Here's structure 279. It's a steel galvanized. Here's the framing name. It's an engineered pole, 95 foot tall. It's a drill pier. Here's the diameter and length of that drill pier and so forth. We got pole weight and so forth. But we can also open up drawings now. This is the data fusion that we talked about in the first webinar. So if I click on the framing drawing, it's going to pop up and show me that framing drawing. If we want to see the foundation drawing, we can open up the foundation drawing for that structure. If we want to see a pole fabrication drawing for that structure, we're not fishing through 4 inches of pole fabrication drawings. Now we open up the drawing that's exactly at that whole location. Insulator assembly. So here's the assembly of that insulator. The conductor that we're using is highlighted. Again, getting all that information from a touch of a button at the location that it's being used. So we went over a lot of this in the first webinar, so I'm not going to dig deep into this. Feel free to view the video from that first one. We can also click on a conductor and get all the conductor information. The Bittern ACSR goes from structure 279 to 283. And again, we can open up drawings here, get the plan and profile drawing for that section, and we can also open up the SAG chart for that section. So that's just a quick general overview. Also, in the project, you'll see our little PowerView guy here. And our PowerView guy here just kind of holds all the standards. Maybe it's construction standards, or maybe it's just generic drawings, or detailed drawings that are covered throughout the whole project. Here's just a standard detail for an anode, arm, grounding connections, and stuff like that. So now we're going to back off the project and get another general overview of it. Click that button there to go back to like a zoom extension, get a general overview of the project. The next thing we're going to do is talk about construction status. And so now we're going to role play here, and I'm going to act like I'm a contributor on the project. One of my colleagues, Lim Mai, he's also on the webinar here, and he's going to be acting like a viewer back in the office. He's going to act like he's the project manager overseeing the project. Again, I'm the contributor, so I'm the guy out in the field doing construction inspections and updating status. So we're going to take a look at this project, and you can see the different statuses here. If the icon turns purple, it means we received the pole. If it's this color, it means we spotted the pole at the whole location. Blue means we framed the pole, sitting on the ground, waiting to be stood up. This means the drill pier has been installed. Set means the pole is in the ground, waiting for conductor, and completed means that conductor's been pulled through, everything's been clipped, and the structure's ready. You can see right now the date at the bottom is April 6th. So if we actually scroll its date down the timeline here, you notice all my icons turn white. Well, that whiteness signifies that we started construction. You see we started construction in April. And as I go down that timeline, you'll see the icons start changing colors. Purple means we received the poles. Now you see some of them being spotted. And as we go down that timeline, you see the construction status is changing as they change in the field. So I'm just going to hit this time button here, and that's going to bring us to today. So here we are, July 22nd, and you see the status of the project. And you see most of the structures have been framed. And you see at this point they've been spotted, but they haven't been framed yet. So I'm the construction inspector on the job today, and my job today is at structure 279. They have installed the drill pier foundation, or in the process of installing it, and I'm going out there to do an inspection on it. And then in structure 280, they told me that the structure has been framed. It's laid on the ground, so I'm going to go to structure 280 today, and I'm going to do an inspection on that framing and fill out a form and do everything there. So first thing I'm going to do is go get my inspection form. So my little guy here, he holds all of our inspection forms. Here's our screen inspection form. Here's our framing inspection form. But the first one I'm going to do is 279 is the foundation inspection form. So I can simply click here out in the field and download this form. I can download it electronically. I can print it out and start filling it out and so forth. So now I'm at structure 279 and I'm inspecting them, installing this foundation. So do I have all the submittal received? Do I have all the required permits? And I'm checking this off. Yes, got that. Yes, got that. Well, the form's aligned and approved by the drawings horizontally and vertically. Check that off. Is the rebar clean? Check that off. So I'm filling this out in the field. And then once it's all filled out, we can upload it to the structure. So I'm going to go back to structure 279. And I can upload those forms. Let me get that form that's filled out already. So here's that form filled out. All the check marks made on it. All the information is filled out here for structure 279, the foundation size, and then it's signed off on. We also attached maybe the concrete truck mix and all the delivery truck slips on there as well. So anything you want to attach, you can attach on here. So from there, go down here, and now we can upload the information. So I'm going to go ahead and add that inspection form that we just filled out, structure 279. I'm going to open that and add it to here. And also, while I'm out there doing this inspection, I'm going to take a picture. So I took a picture of that foundation that we just inspected and installed. And I'm going to go ahead and upload that picture at structure 279 as well. And so both of those are now in there for structure 279. We also add some notes. I already wanted to put one in here for just an example. A water line. We have a water line 5 foot to the east of the structure running parallel to the road. So there's a water line here. We just add that note in there just so we can keep that history of what's around that structure there. Statuses. So you can see we received the pole on May 15th. We spotted it on May 30th. But we went ahead and we put that drill pier in the ground today. We got drill pier. Select the date. Hit save. And that drill pier comes in here with that status change. All right, so now we're going to go to 280. There we have a structure on the ground that's got framed. Okay, so again, we can do the same thing. We got a inspection form for structure 280 that we're going to fill out. Again, just same type of form, just different verbiage here for framing. Is it ID and marked? Has the structure been checked for damage and galvanizing? Are all the required bolts, washings on site? So again, just generic inspection form, get signed out. Here's the jacking of the poles, exactly where the splice distance is. Again, signed off, and we can attach pictures in here. There's a picture of the pole on the ground. And so we're going to go ahead and upload that inspection form to structure 280. And as I mentioned, we out there in the field, we took a picture of the structure. And so we can go ahead and upload that picture of that structure to the location as well. Another example of usage here is if we had any kind of as-built or red lines done in the field. So if we had a marking here to show exactly what that splice length was or where exactly that joint is, you know, we can make a red line here, or if there's a change on a drawing, we can make those red lines and upload that drawing and attach that to it as well. So when we go to do as-builts at the end of the project, we have all those red lines and we're not trying to collect them from the field at the end of the project. We'll go ahead and upload that as well. Okay. Again, we just inspected that it's framed, so we're going to go ahead and change the status in structure 280. Click add. We'll click frame, date, hit save, and then framing status comes in there, and our icon changes color here in real time to show that change. So again, if we want to add notes, we could add notes. Here we had a note that the structure moved 5 feet because of the landowner's request. And we got the uploads there. So again, I'm the contributor out in the field. I just went through those inspections, the upload, and everything else. So now I'm going to turn the presentation over to our guy back in the office, Lim Mai. He's kind of the project manager over this. So he just got a notification that these statuses changed and that there was some uploads. So I'm going to hand it over to Lim, and he can go from there.
Good morning, everyone. This is Lim. I'm at the office, and I just got a message from Kurt saying that he made some changes at structures 279 and 280. So let's go there and see what was changed. So at 279, I see that the status is currently group here. So let's click that. And status. Let's see what's upload. I see an inspection form. Pull it up. Okay, here's the form filled out. And a picture of the foundation. Here's the picture of the foundation. And also structure 280 is currently frame. Status says frame. Upload. There's inspection form. It's filled out. Picture of the pole. Pole's on the ground. And there's some red line.
Okay, thank you, Lim. Just like we just showed everything that can be done from a construction perspective and upload inspection forms, we can also use the same concept when doing a storm event. So if we had a tornado come through or a hurricane come through, guys out in the field can go out there and do their inspections, upload pictures, upload their inspection forms at the structure locations. Guys back at the office get a notification to say, hey, here's where we have a down power line, we have a down pole, and they can upload the drawings of that structure of what needs to change or where we have poles in stock. So the same concept can be used from a store restoration event as well. And so from that, I think we're going to move into questions. I'll turn it over to Kevin.
Yep, thank you, Kurt. Before we conclude, we'd like to answer a few questions that were submitted here by our audience. So, Kurt, let me share the first question with you. How has PowerView been received by construction and field personnel thus far?
Yeah, so it varies from construction inspector to construction inspector. You know, the older guys have always done it this way with their paper drawings, so they're a little more reluctant. The younger guys are, you know, they've kind of grew up in this electronic age where they're dependent and expecting to have some kind of electronic device and having the information at their fingertips. So for the most part, it's been received very well. You know, as we have done this now for a couple of years, it's become second nature to them now. So it's coming on pretty strong.
Good. Okay, and our second question, can multiple contributors update project status and upload documents and make status changes?
Yes, absolutely. So on some of these bigger projects that we have 20 miles of transmission. We have multiple inspectors on the projects following different crews that are at different locations on the project. So yeah, both of them can contribute to the project at the same time, and we can see those changes in real time as both of them are updating on the same project.
Okay, and let's take one last question, and that is, are frequent updates required to take advantage of new feature enhancements within PowerView?
No, so you won't have to update at all. So everything is web-based. So our programmers, when they release any kind of updates that we have to the program, you're going to get that update automatically next time you log into the portal online. It's all web-based, so any update's going to be automatic to you.
Great. Well, that's all very good information. Thank you, Kurt. So just want to summarize today's webinar. PowerView is a dynamic and powerful solution. Through its real-time updates and role-based visualization capability, PowerView helps to facilitate quicker responses to storm events, manage and maintenance of assets, physical inspections, and PowerView data can be used for material requisitions and work order generation. As stated in our invite, this is the second in our series of webinars focused on capabilities of PowerView. The webinar will be posted to the Grid Intel website in the coming days. Please check out our website for additional information and to download the previous PowerView webinar. And don't forget about our offer to provide access to a limited time instance of PowerView at no cost. Should you have any questions or need additional information or would like to set up a demo, you can reach out to Kurt or myself. Our contact information is shown here. Thank you again for your time, and from our family to yours, we wish you and your family safety and good health.